Okay, so these are best practices that I think hopefully all of you know. All right, so in answer short question, so this is a question type that falls within the speaking section, where you get a simple question and you have to just give a one word answer. You can just say one word or maybe 2-3 words. Now, understand that this is is it an integrated task? Yes, no? What do you mean by an integrated task? An integrated task is a task in which multiple skills are being tested. So do you think this is an integrated task? So I would request all of you to actively participate, use the chat option. So now that we have more participants, I won't be able to open up the mic. If I open the mic, then it's going to be slightly difficult to manage. All right, so you are listening to a question and then you are speaking, right? So even though it's an integrated task, it does not actually contribute much towards your speaking or listening score. It mainly contributes to your vocabulary score. So there is something called enabling skill that you will see on your scorecard, so which is something that we have discussed initially in the first session. So enabling skill, understand that it does not matter much except for oral fluency and pronunciation. The other scores, Pearson themselves have stated that their error of measurement of those skills are very high. So except for oral fluency and pronunciation, we have also seen that if your score falls below 20 on any of those enabling skills, then only you need to worry. Otherwise, we have seen even if you are getting a very low vocabulary score of 30, 35, or even a grammar score of 40, there are, in those cases also, people have scored more than 80 in the respective section. All right, so here also the point here is that you need to give a confident answer. You need to give a prompt and confident answer as soon as you listen to the question, as soon as your recording starts. Okay, so you will get about 10 to 12 questions. Most of them will be, out of those 10 to 12 questions, 80% of those will be easy. It will have answer within the question itself. Maybe 2 or 3 questions you may not instantly get that answer, but try to speak whatever comes to your mind. Don't just leave any question. Is this clear to all of you? Yes, no? Super. All right, so let's quickly do few answer short questions. So answer short question, I don't want you to invest a lot of energy in it because it hardly contributes anything, but understand that you should not leave any questions. So whatever comes to your mind, just try to deliver that. Don't worry too much about the accuracy, because if you think too much, I mean, you honestly don't have a lot of time to think, because if you, within the speaking section, for any question type, if you pause for 3 seconds or more, the microphone will go off. It won't record anything afterwards, which is why you don't have much time to think. So whatever comes to your mind, you just deliver that at that instant. Okay. So what I will do is I will just play some of these questions. You just need to type your answer. Is this clear to all of you? All right, super. So let's get started. So here is the first question.
Which section of a train timetable will tell you what time your train leaves?
I hope the audio was clear to all of you. Okay, so I think so Ashmita, one thing that you have to do is, if you are logged in using your mobile device, you will have to keep this screen open all the time. Then only you will be able to hear. So let's see it for the next one. So the right answer here is departure. The question was,
Which section of a train timetable will tell you what time your train leaves?
The right answer is departure. Now, let's say you're not getting that word at that particular instant. What are the other answers that you can think of quickly? So I could see that 3 of you have answered it as departure. Timetable, yes. Any other answers that any other answers that you thought of? Schedule, yes. All right. So don't be shy of answering that question at that particular time. You just deliver confidently whatever it is. All right. So yeah, departure schedule. Yes, perfect. Makes sense. So let's look at the next one.
What does a king or queen wear on their head at official ceremonies?
Yeah, crown. Yes, I think yeah. So most of you will answer this as crown. Yes. Let's look at the next one. Here we go.
If something such as fabric or medicine is artificially made, not natural, what do we say it is?
Synthetic, yes. Artificial. Yes. So the point here is any of these answers will get through. Okay. Now, okay, let me give you a simple example. Okay. So I'm not going to play the audio. I'm just going to ask the question straight away. What do you call a person who watches sports events? So I'm waiting for a few more answers. So whatever came to your mind first, you just try to type it. We will at least see how many of you got it like accurately correct. Accurate. Okay, so we can see that some of you have mentioned it as spectator, which is the accurate answer for it. Now, many of you can answer this as, so Jinu has answered it as viewers. Now, is that wrong? Not really. Now, you can even answer this as audience. Is that wrong? Not really. So what is the difference between audience and spectator, or viewers and spectator? Why am I saying that spectator is the accurate word here? Any answers? Understood my question? Okay, so now that none of you are answering, let me just explain it myself. See, the general understanding is that spectator is something that only someone with a sound vocabulary who has not gone through these questions before, only who has a sound vocabulary will come up with that particular word spectator at that particular instance. because your vocabulary is good. So that is why it mainly contributes to your vocabulary score. So that doesn't mean that saying audience or viewers or anything else, sports enthusiast, sports fan. So that doesn't make it a wrong answer that way, which is why it doesn't contribute much towards your speaking or listening score. All right, so be confident of your answers. That's it. That was the gist of it. Is this clear to all of you? All right, super. So let me just quickly play the next audio.
Who is the main journalist responsible for producing a newspaper or magazine?
Yeah, so editor is the accurate word here. But yes, whatever comes to your mind first, you just need to deliver that. That's the point, whole idea here. All right. So let's look at the next one.
If a woman is expecting a baby, what adjective do we use to describe her?
Yeah, straightforward answer, pregnant. Good. Next one.
What piece of clothing do people wear around their necks in cold weather?
Yes. So muffler is the right answer. Muffler, scarf. So tie, Vijay. So the question was in cold weather. Okay. So let's say you said tie and instantly you got the answer. You can even say the right answer if you are getting it at that particular instant. So that is also acceptable. Let's look at the next one.
What do we call a doctor who specializes in surgery?
Perfect. Surgeon. Next one.
What is the name of the paper you write when you do a doctorate?
Thesis. Perfect.
What is the term for a strong and powerful wind that spins as it moves across the ground?
Cyclone, hurricane, turbulence. Yes. Tornado. So all these answers is fine. Let's look at the next one.
Which emotion describes someone who feels displeasure, irritation, or hostility?
Short-tempered, angry, upset, sad. Yeah. So anger is the right answer, correct, accurate answer. But then, as I said, what matters is you giving a prompt answer. So all of this is fine. So here's the next one.
What is the name of the discipline concerned with the scientific study of rocks?
Archaeology, geology. So geology is most apt here, but other answers, as I said. Yeah, just check the spelling of these what you're writing, because if in case you are getting an a right from dictation question, the spelling matters. Okay, so make sure that you don't make any spelling errors when you're within the writing section. All right, so let's look at this last question and then we'll move on to summarize written text. So here we go.
What is the name for the metal railway lines on which a train travels?
Yes, so track is the right answer here. All right, super. Okay, so the gist of answer short questions is that you just need to give a confident, clear answer. Okay, don't hesitate, to mention your answer. You just confidently deliver your answer. That's it. Is this clear to all of you? Yes? No? All right, super. So let's move on to our next section, which is summarize written text. Now, summarize written text. In summarize written text, what happens is you get a passage, typically less than 300 words, and you have about 10 minutes to read the passage, understand it, and write a summary of it in one sentence. So for all this, you are getting 10 minutes. So what is the rule here? You have to write a sentence. You have to write a one sentence summary. So you get a passage, you read the passage, write a one sentence summary of what you have read. Now tell me, is this an integrated task? So integrated task, let me just repeat once again. Integrated task means you are doing multiple tasks. Okay, so here you are reading and then writing. So points will be awarded to both reading section and writing section. All right, now understand that summarized written text is a medium weightage question. Okay, so now for any open-ended writing questions, we discussed in the last week, you have to keep in mind certain rules. Understand that all your components, speaking, writing, reading, listening, everything is graded by a computer. Now, it's very important that you really understand how a computer is expecting answers, or how a computer is going to evaluate your speaking and writing responses. For other sections, it's mostly straightforward because you have multiple choice questions. You get it right, you get it right. You have fill in the blanks questions, you get it right, you get it right. So it's very easy to grade there. But for these open-ended questions, you clearly should know what a computer is looking for. All right. Now, whenever you are in an open-ended writing component, so what do you mean by open-ended writing? Are you all of you aware of open-ended writing components? Open-ended and close-ended questions. What do you mean by open-ended questions? Okay. Okay, so let me just start with close-ended question. Close-ended question means, so you have a question and there is only one perfect answer to it, or there are two perfect answers to it. Exactly. Now, these are, so for example, a multiple choice question. So you have a passage, you have a question, and then you have just one exact answer to it. Those are close-ended questions. Fill in the blanks. Only one answer, one perfect answer to it, one precise answer to it. That is close-ended. Now, for these questions, summarize written text, these are open-ended. There can be multiple perfect answers. For example, Shoaib can write a summary in one particular way, which is absolutely correct. Jaya can write it in another way. Ramesh can write it in another way. So all of you can be same. All of you can be accurate at the same time, which is why multiple perfect answers are possible. So those questions are known as open-ended open-ended questions. So for these open-ended questions, you have to keep in mind few things which we discussed last week. I will quickly just take you through those, what those general rules are. So you should not be making any mistakes that a computer can easily catch. For example, wrong usage of capital letters. So always make sure that you follow the writing convention, that whenever you start a sentence, you start with the capital letter, end with a full stop. So we'll come to full stop part later. The word I is always capitalized. I as in I am. Capitalize months, days, and holidays. Capitalize cities, states, and countries. So whenever you're talking about a noun, try to capitalize it. At no other places, so you should not randomly capitalize words or the first letter of any word that way. So all of these are very simple rules, but I have seen many students missing on this part. So they are not doing it intentionally, but they are not just clearly proofreading it and then correcting themselves. But if you show such a mistake, then that's really bad. Is this clear to all of you? All right, super. The next is punctuations. So end each sentence with a period or a full stop. Use question mark if that's a question. After any introductory words, put a comma. Firstly, secondly, however, similarly. When two meaningful sentences are joined together with a conjunction, then also you put a comma. So I went to a shop and I bought a pair of shoes. So I went to shop is a complete meaningful sentence. I bought a pair of shoes is also a complete meaningful sentence. If you are trying to combine these two meaningful sentences using a conjunction, in this case and, then you have to use a comma. So these are things that computer can easily catch. So don't make errors here. Use quotes whenever you are quoting someone. Okay, so for example, as J.D. Smith said, the past is always tense and the future. So this is a quote, which is why it's put under this double quotes. Grammar. Now, one good thing about grammar is, see, if you are a decent user of English language, and you don't have to worry too much about grammar. If you are able to write sentences in a meaningful way, if you are able to write sentences that someone can read and understand without any problem, you can stop worrying about grammar. So as long as whatever you are trying to communicate to the reader, if that is put across in a meaningful way, you don't have to worry too much about grammar. You don't have to worry about should I make a complex sentence? Should I deliberately use a not only but also? Not really. As long as you are writing a meaningful sentence, you don't have to worry too much about. You don't have to be too finicky about grammar. Inside quote, if I have period, so we can use it. Yes. So you're saying that if you want to end the sentence, yeah, you end the sentence and put a quote and put a full stop and then end the quote. So in grammar, again, understand computer, since it's a logical machine, there are few things that computer can easily catch. So don't show these errors to computer. For example, article errors. So it's something that computer can easily catch. So make sure that you are not making any article errors. So article, use a before consonants, a house, a beautiful sight, and before vowels, an occasion, an expert. You use the when we expect reader to identify the thing we are referring to. So John bought the vacant house on Oak Street. These are simple, again, basic grammar rules, but many people make mistakes here, especially if you are not really allowed to make a mistake with this and a. So many times people get confused with whether whether or not to use an or a. So such mistakes you shouldn't ever show to a computer. Verb tense should match the meaning. Okay, so yesterday we talked about RS and WFD. Today we are talking about SWT and ASQ. Tomorrow, what's going to complete it? We will be talking about, or we will talk about. So verb tense should always match the meaning. That's something that you have to keep in mind. Use pronouns whenever required. So tobacco consumption is not good for health. It can cause cancer. So again, don't use tobacco consumption can cause cancer. It can cause cancer. Simple things. So these are simple examples, but make sure that when you write, an essay, for example, you may sometimes overlook these things, which is why it's very important that you try to catch these mistakes when you proofread your, essay or even, summaries. Is this clear to all of you? Yes, no. So I'm rushing through this because we have already discussed this last week. Super. Use adverbs and adjectives correctly. So her explanation was perfect. She explained perfectly. Yeah, the recording of the session will be, shared with you, Vijay. So if we have the timetable link, all the recordings are, the recording links are posted there, so you can refer to those. All right, so is it clear? Spelling. Okay, now a lot of you are worried about spelling. Now, see, if you are a decent user of English language and if you think that you may not be making a lot of spelling errors, just make sure that you don't make this convention mistake. Now, what is convention mistake? There are two conventions, globally used conventions. One is British and the other is American convention. So you must have seen these differences, right? So the word color is sometimes written as COLOUR, and sometimes we see that as COLOR. So COLOR is basically American. COLOUR is British. So within a response, so for example, let's say you are writing summarize written text question number 1. So that within that particular response of yours, you should not switch between these conventions. You either stick to British or stick to American. Okay. Similar, you have seen SC versus VE, that is analyze. So VE is typically American, SC is typically British. Just be mindful of these things when you are in an open-ended writing component. So if you're not really sure of whether this is American, so don't get tensed or anything. It's just that maybe if you're not very sure, then maybe try to change that word. It's just try to write a synonym of that particular word. If you're not really sure. So what if we mix? Now, if you mix, for example, let's say within a response you are using, let's say you are using both these words. We are writing COLOUR color and an analyze ZE American one. So one of these will be treated as a spelling error, because it will either check for American convention or British convention. You cannot switch between these conventions. again, I would say limitation of the software. So this is something, maybe over the years they might rectify. But as of now, this is something that you have to be careful. Did I answer your question, Ashmita? All right. Is this clear to all of you so far? Okay, fine, super. Now, sentence construction. No other thing, important thing that you have to keep in mind. Whatever you are writing, always keep this in mind that you are writing for a reader. Let me just repeat this. You are writing for a dumb reader. So you have to write meaningfully. You have to write things meaningfully. You have to write explicitly. Okay, so none of your sentences should be ambiguous that way. Okay, and your sentence construction also should be proper. Sentences should have a subject and a verb. Participants in this meeting. Now, can I end a sentence like this? No, right? Yeah. So this is one example. Let's say, in the flow of your writing, maybe, you wanted to write something, but you just, missed it for some reason. Now, if such a sentence is there in your essay, then that will treat it as an incomplete sentence. So which is why it's very, very essential you come back and proofread and correct all these errors. So participants in this meeting are very much active. Now, that's a complete sentence. Break long sentences into chunks using appropriate punctuation. So this is again very, very important. So if you don't use punctuations properly, then the sentence may not be meaningful. That is one thing. It may convey a different meaning altogether. So try to use appropriate punctuations whenever you are using long sentences. Avoid run-on sentences. Now, what do you mean by run-on sentences? So run-on sentences again are lengthy sentences. It's just that run-on sentences looks like it's never going to end. So some sentences, you just keep on writing, and then you may use multiple connectors, which does that. So try to avoid run-on sentences. So run-on sentences, I repeat, is a sentence that may appear like it's never going to end. So avoid such sentences, convert those into small sentences. So for example, now this is an example of a run-on sentence. To commence with, some people may become harsh because they feel they can win by fighting, because the lead role in the movie fights and win, but the reality is different. So try to, rephrase such sentences or break it into smaller sentences. Okay, so Jaya has a question here. So can we use backspace in the paper or correct mistakes? Either is blanks MCQ or SWT. Okay, so one thing, backspace you can use. There is no harm in it. Whenever you proofread, you will have to use backspace sometimes. So that's completely fine. So there is a myth that if you use backspace, then the points will be deducted. There is nothing like that. We have tested it. So we have many students who get 90 in writing. So I mean that's a quality of good writers, that you go over whatever you have written. You try to rectify yourself. So that's something that a very good writer always do. So I mean, to ask such a person not to use a backspace does not make sense. Now, or correct mistakes. So either is blanks MCQ or SWT. So what is that question? Either in blanks MCQ. So if you are in that question, if you have not clicked on next, till that point you have the option to correct your mistakes. If you have clicked on next, you cannot come back to that particular question. So I hope you were asking about that only, Jaya. Were you? Yeah, so there are, certain, I know such myths. I have heard a lot of students, telling me quite often that, they have heard this in WhatsApp group, Telegram group, but that's not really true. Yes, so you have a copy, cut, paste option in that, so you can utilize that. Okay, again, that's a feature that is given to you to save your time. So if you are good at it, you will be able to do it quite comfortably. You have a copy, cut, paste button, Ramesh, there. Yes. Recent exam, here there was no copy paste option in SWT. Recent exam, as in you're talking about official exam, is it, Jaya? Or the exam that you gave in the website, mock test? Okay, so I'm not very sure about it, Jaya, so I will confirm that. Official exam, if they are making such changes, they will, advertise it. So I'm not really sure. I will confirm that. That is one thing. And then let's say there is no copy paste option. So what else will you do to correct your mistake? You will have to anyways use the backspace, right? So they won't, honestly put you in such difficult situation. Okay. Yes. I will confirm that. Yes. Yeah. All right. So is this clear to all of you? Whatever we have discussed so far? Super. Okay. So now, again, it's very, very important to proofread. So this is an exercise that we have done last week. So so basically this is a student's essay. It has basically a lot of mistakes in it. So you should understand that it's very, very important to proofread and correct it. So whatever rules that we have discussed so far are not that hard rules or anything, right? So all those are simple rules, but it's very likely that within that, because it's a time bound exam, you may be having that exam fear, exam pressure. So you may overlook or you may miss out on some of these simple things. Now, the point that you have to clearly understand is you cannot really afford to show a basic grammatical error to a computer. You cannot really afford to make a basic capitalization error. So you have to again come back and proofread. You have to, again, you cannot afford to write a meaningless sentence without a subject verb agreement. Okay, so these are the things that you have to catch when you try to proofread. All right. So this is an exercise that they've done last week. So I don't really think we should be doing that again. So let's look at summarized written text. So all that we have discussed so far are general rules that you have to keep in mind whenever you are doing any open-ended writing component. Now, can you quickly tell me what are the open-ended writing components in PTE? So summarized written text is one thing. Yes. Essay. Yes. And then there is SFT. Now, SFT refers to summarized spoken text. summarize for context. That is, you listen to a lecture and then you have to write a summary. So there also it's an open-ended writing component. Ramesh, write from dictation is not really an open-ended writing component that way, because you have word by word matching there, because you have a sentence, you get a sentence, you are exactly trying to type that out. So there is a word by word match. So there is a perfect answer to it. Understood? All right, super. So yeah, so SWT, essay and SST. Essay and SST are very, very important because you are writing more sentences there, more words there. So you have to be careful there, extremely careful there. All right, so here we go. So summarize written text, as I mentioned, you get a passage and you have to read that passage, summarize it in one sentence within 10 minutes. All this process has to take place in 10 minutes. That is reading and writing. Now, many students, what they do is they read the passage very quickly, don't understand it at the first try, read it again, then again read it. So they will take a lot of time to read it itself. So instead, what you have to do is you have to actively read the passage. Now, what do you mean by active reading? As and when you read, you try to understand the meaning of it, so that you are avoiding the need of going through the passage once again. So avoid reading too many times. You only have 10 minutes to read and write. Okay, which is wait. Be very patient, calm. If you, I mean, you also have to practice a lot. But if you, again, as I mentioned, if you are like average or above average user of English language, you should be able to do it quite comfortably. That is, if you patiently read the sentences, you will get it in one shot itself. Note down the keywords. Now, what is it that the whole passage is talking about? Let's say the whole passage is talking about the dowry. So how, you know, dowry is given in East African countries, how dowry is given in Asian countries, how it has evolved, is the practice still there? So the whole passage is talking about dowry. So it's an essential keyword that you cannot really afford to miss in your summary. So such words you should never ever miss in when you write a summary. So you have to note those keywords. Now, words that are repeated more frequently could be a keyword. So, for example, you may get a passage talking about different types of research conducted to see the impact of music on, you know, child development. Okay, so research 1 talks about this, research 2 talks about that. So multiple researchers, they talk about, you know, the results of those researches. Now, then research becomes a keyword. Are you able to understand? Are you following me? Yes, no? All right, super. So again, the point here is you don't have to necessarily scan for keyword. Your primary objective is to read the passage actively and understand it in its entirety. When you understand it, naturally, you know, you will get those keywords. Okay, it's just that the extra care that you have to keep in, you know, after writing maybe one sentence summary, just ensure that okay, you have written the, you know, main keywords. Okay, again, don't get me wrong, I have seen many students taking one word each from each of the paragraphs and then typing it out. You don't have to do those things. So when I say keyword, I'm talking about just one or two words that you cannot really afford to miss. Okay, that is basically the central, you know, the gist of the passage. So such things you cannot miss. Scan for sentences that captures the central idea of the passage. So again, one thing that you could do is identify the purpose of the author. Ask yourself why the author has written this passage. What is the objective of the author? What is the author trying to convey? So if you try to ask this question to yourself, that is the central idea. That the answer to that particular question will be the central idea of that passage. what are those ideas that holds the entire passage together? So as I mentioned, there will be like 3 to 4 paragraphs. So in certain paragraphs, you will have, you know, some important point, and then maybe in the third paragraph, you may have another important point. So you have to really weigh, as in, whether, you have to include these 2 points or whether you should just focus on 1 point. So again, that weightage is something that you should understand, that whether you need to, you need to have a very clear understanding of the weightage that you need to give to those 2 points to write an effective summary. Combine central idea, gist, and keywords into one sentence. So if you know the central idea, if you know the gist of the passage, then you can easily write a 1 sentence summary of it. Now, when you write 1 sentence, make sure that you keep in mind those things that we discussed initially, that you will keep in mind for all those open-ended writing components. Okay, so central idea, gist, and keywords into 1 sentence. So imagine that you are writing a single sentence for someone who has not gone through the passage. So you are writing a 1 sentence summary for someone who has not seen the passage. So just by reading that 1 sentence, are you able to convince that particular reader that this author was trying to convey this information through this passage? So write a single sentence in a simple way that someone who has not read the passage should get the feel of the entire passage. In a simple way, so that someone who has not read the passage should get a feel of the entire passage. Is this clear to all of you? So keep things really simple. Don't focus a lot on shortcuts. I've seen many students, what they do is they take first half of the first sentence and then club it with the last half of the sentence, and then that's it. So if you are really aiming for 79 plus, don't even think of such strategies. Okay, so only if you are extremely lucky, that will get through. And honestly, because of the limitations the software has, some of such responses also will get through, but you have to be lucky. It doesn't work all the time, which is why you need to keep it simple. You need to have a clear strategy on what you're doing. You need to have at least a logical explanation of what you're trying to do. Is this clear to all of you? Yes, no, I want to see a few more yeses. Super. Okay, so just to summarize, whatever you are writing, whenever you are writing an open-ended component, always understand that you are writing for a reader. Your job is to convince the reader with your sentences. So sentences has to be explicit, it has to be meaningful. Try not to be ambiguous. Try not to write ambiguous sentences. There should not be any ambiguity. There should not be. How long? Okay, yeah. So good question, Vijay. Now, the rule here is that you have to write a sentence, write a single sentence. Single sentence means what? 1 full stop. Right? Now, the unwritten rule here is that you can write anything between 5 to 75 words. Okay, 5 to 75 words. Now, if you write anything less than 5 or more than 75, that response won't be taken into account for grading. Okay, now imagine you writing a 75-word lengthy sentence. Now that's an extremely lengthy single sentence you're talking about, right? Now see, again, if you are a very good user of English language, you still will be able to write meaningful sentence with using appropriate punctuations. You will be able to write 70-75 word lengthy sentence. But most of the times, most of the times what happens is you may, when you write such a lengthy sentence, you may inadvertently make a lot of grammatical errors. So to avoid that, keep your sentences short. All you need to do is to convey the central idea and gist of the passage, ensuring that you have included the right keywords. So you can actually write a very good summary within 35 to 50 words. So when you do that, you have a control over your writing. You will be able to convey the meaning, in a better way. Okay, so chances of you making error when you write more words will be much higher. The probability of you making an error will be much higher when you write a very lengthy sentence. So keep it short. 35 to 50 words is something that is good enough. Again, don't be harsh on yourself. Let's say don't try to restrict it to 50 also. If you are able to write like 55 words and still you feel that you have not made if you have not made any grammatical mistake, just let it be, no problem. So your aim is to avoid these errors. Okay, this is clear to all of you? Yes, no? Super. So let's do some exercise. So what I will do is I will show you a passage. So you have to go through the passage and then write a single sentence summary. All right, so all of you ready? If you are ready, just type ready. I want to see a few more readies. Only Jinu, Shoaib, and Ramesh are ready. Oh, Ashmit is also ready. Elishma. Oh, Elishma, you are here. All right, Elishma. All right, so let's get started. I don't know when you joined, so I don't know, honestly. Yeah, you can go through the recording, Elishma, later if you have. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to show you a passage. You go through the passage and write a single sentence summary. So here we go. Yeah, so Shoaib, it's not really recommended that you start writing the passage summarizes. So you can directly jump to the topic. Your The objective here is to summarize the sentence, so you don't have to explicitly write the passage summarizes. Just write a sentence that conveys a central idea and gist. Now, when you just say, the scientific research on chilies, it proves why they are chilly in nature. So I hope you meant to say why they are hot in nature is what you meant to say. Uh, Again, yeah. So why they are? So you may have to give a few more information there. Okay. Again, understand that if I am reading this, if I have not gone through this passage, and if I'm just writing if I'm just reading this one sentence, I still would like to know, uh, what exactly is the result of that research, maybe, right? So that should not happen. It should be like a small, complete story. Yeah, so I'm expecting anyone else trying to write a summary here. So 2 more minutes. So we have 3 summaries here. What I will do is I will Just try to open a document. So Vijay, you want me to take the last one? Okay, so this is I wanted to actually point out that, but then we have Ramesh here. Jay is here. Elishma. So Ashmita, Swati, are you guys also? Okay. Yes, I think. Elishma, you want me to take this one? Okay. All right. So I think we are okay. Let's start with Jinu's. Okay. So let's look at Jinu's response. The main ingredients of spicy food like chilies, and capsicum are being widely used in because of its ability to deal with harmful microbes and hungry mammals. Okay, so what is the problem here? Okay, so we discussed initially some of the basic rules that you cannot really show to a computer, basic errors that you should not show to a computer, right? So tell me one such mistake in this response. Double space after food, that's a good finding, yes. So yeah, so this is something that again try to avoid as much as possible. Okay. Yeah, Jinu, good foods. Okay, main ingredients of spicy foods. Okay, I am not really sure where you got this capsicum from. So it's not It was not capsicum actually. It was not talking anything about capsicum. Yes, Shoaib. Yes. So that's what I was looking for. Punctuation. Where is the full stop here? Now you are supposed to write a one sentence summary, right? Now if there is no full stop, what does it mean? It means that it's an incomplete sentence. So you should not make such mistakes. Okay. So such mistakes you should anyways try to avoid. Now the other thing that you have to really see is the meaningful sentence. Now the main ingredients of spicy foods like chilies and capsicum. For a moment, let me assume that let's say capsicum was there. Let's try to see if this is a meaningful sentence. The main ingredients of spicy foods like chilies and capsicum are being widely used. The main ingredients are being widely used because of its ability to deal with harmful microbes and hungry mammals. So is it a meaningful sentence? So this, I'm just trying to, correct this. Are widely used because of its ability. Now, is this a meaningful sentence? How many of you think it's a meaningful? Forget about the content for the time being. Read the sentence. Is it a meaningful sentence? How many of you think it's a meaningful sentence? Gino, you yourself can answer. Yes. Now, yeah, it's a meaningful sentence. The main ingredients of spicy foods like chilies and capsicum are being widely used because of its ability to deal with harmful microbes and anti-venomous. It's a complete sentence, complete meaningful sentence. So you will get points for that. Okay, so let's say you have put a full stop and then you are writing a meaningful sentence, and then you also have this keyword here. So yes, so you'll get few points there. Now, is it really summarizing the gist of the passage? How many of you think so? Jinu, you yourself can answer. Yeah. So yeah. So Jinu, the whole passage was talking about research on chilies. Why chilies evolved to be hot at the first place, and they were talking about, okay, different researchers have found this, that, and then in one such research they found out that it's not the white part, it's the capsicum, the chemical capsicum, not capsicum, oh my god. I'm using the word capsicum now because I have seen that. So it's capsaicin, something like that, right? Yeah. So this is the chemical, is what most scientists believe. Okay. Now again, it evolved to be hot to basically fight against this hungry mammals or deal with harmful microbes. That was the whole gist of it. So that was not really coming in this passage. So if you are really aiming for 79 plus, I would still say you focus a bit more on content. Otherwise, that few mistakes that we have corrected, it looks like a meaningful sentence, but then you have not really summarized the gist of it. This is clear to all of you. This is a learning to all of you, not just Gino. So I'm just taking all these examples and trying to find out faults in all of in each of these responses. So don't get me wrong. So this is the way to learn. This is the right way to learn, that you understand the mistakes that you're making, and it's also a chance for others to understand what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Okay, so I hope all of you will take it in the right spirit. Okay. Right? Is it? Are we all good? Okay, so let's look at the Ramesh response. In the late 1990s, capsaicin, the chemical in chili, is responsible for the burning sensation in our mouth and the white flesh which houses the seeds, known as the placenta, and acts mainly as a deterrent against the mammal predators such as rodents and also certain harmful fungus. Now, how many of you think this is a meaningful sentence? As I mentioned this previously, try to read the sentence aloud. Now, this is one effective way of proofreading. Okay, try to read the sentence aloud. So you will be able, if you are able to feel some jump, if you are able to see that, okay, something is missing, then probably you have made some error. Ramesh, would you like to answer that, or anyone else? Please, it's something that all of you together should do. All of us together should do. So please participate. So let me just read it. So in the late 1990s, capsaicin, the chemical in chili, is responsible for the burning sensation in our mouth and the white flesh which houses the seeds, known as placenta, and acts mainly as a deterrent against mammal predators such as rodents and also certain harm. So Ramesh, were you trying to, yeah, Jaya, good point. Why capital C? Good question. So this was not really required. If you really had to highlight the word capsaicin, what you could have just done is maybe, you can just put this in quote if you really want to do that. Not really required, but still. But avoid capitalization that way. Should break the sentence. So where exactly you should break the sentence? So I would really like to hear it from Ramesh in typing at least. what exactly were you trying to communicate? What was your understanding of the passage? So by the time you type it out here, I will just go to Vijay's response and deal with it. We'll come back to Ramesh's response. So I'm giving Ramesh some time to tell me explicitly what exactly you are trying to communicate to the reader. All right, Ramesh, does that make sense? All right, super. So let me go to Vijay. Vijay, scientific researchers shows. Okay, so researchers shows. So what exactly will you use here? You will only use. So if you are using plural here, you don't use shows. Okay. Show that the heat of chili. A better way of writing it is hotness of chili is because of capsaicin and its heat. Now this is a very, very, very common mistake that a lot of students make. So Jaya rightly pointed this out. Again, it may not be something that you are intentionally doing. Okay, so it just happens. But again, you should be mindful of not showing these errors to the computer. What is the problem here exactly? What is the problem here? Vijay, can you tell me? IT apostrophe S means it is. Okay. Now, do you really wanted to use it is here or it's? So it's just it's. So such, again, very common mistake. Okay. So such mistake we should not do. Nitin, could you please answer Abida's question in chat? Okay. Scientific research shows, scientific researchers show, okay, so let's for the time being, let's correct that also. Scientific research show that heat of chili is because of capsaicin and its heat is a defense system to deal with harmful microbes and hungry mammals. How do you think of this summary? Anyone? So do you think it conveys the central idea and gist quite decently? Vijay, you can do a self-analysis and tell me. Looks like, yeah, looks like, yes. How many of you think this is a good summary? Yes, so this is a decent summary which has tried to cover the main area and gist of it. So now one thing that I would like to tell you is that, see, now you have used a very strong statement here that you're saying that it shows that it, so you're sure about it. Now, if you go through the passage once again, you will see that in the passage they have used a tentative language. So they believe that this could be the reason. So when you also write, you have to write this in a tentative language. Understood? Okay, so many scientific researchers have led scientists to believe that the hotness of chili is due to capsaicin and its heat is a defense system to deal with harmful microbes and hungry mammals. And does that make sense? I want others also to comment. So where is Elishma, Ashmita? Do we have Ramesh, Jinu? So Ginu, a lot of you have a lot of them have commented on your essay, so you should also be telling them back, right? Giving feedback. All right, so let's move to Elishma's summary. So this is quite decent. You just need to use a tentative language and avoid using. The other thing that I want to tell you is, see, now you have used the word chilli here. Okay, so Chilly. Now, is this a correct spelling? How many of you think it's a correct spelling? Now, it is a correct spelling. Again, it's a problem of convention. Okay, so Chilli is British. Chilly is American. Now, the good thing he has done is the defense. Now, you have seen two different you might have seen two different spellings of defense. One is SC, the other one is CE. Again, that's a convention issue. But in this particular essay, both these are American conventions, so which is good. Again, you don't have to be like, you don't have to worry too much about it. It just, for this particular response, we are saying this is not a mistake that a lot of people make. The spelling mistake that that people typically make is because they don't know the spelling. Okay, so such mistakes are very rare, but just keep these things in mind. These things can also impact your scores sometimes. All right. So is it clear, Vijay? Let me go to Elishma's response. Okay, so various researches have been conducted to examine the evolution of chilies and to explore more about heat and its burning reaction, through which we came to know the fact that the placenta is the hottest part of the chili, and hotter chilies will help to deal with harmful microbes and hungry mammals. Ooh. Okay, so this is somewhat lengthy. Now, the problem here is that you have not used a single punctuation. So try to see if you can, break this sentence into two. You don't have to necessarily put a full stop. There is something called a semicolon, which acts like a semi full stop. So you can use that to break your sentence into two. Okay, so how will you do that to make it more readable? Understood, Elishma, the point? Okay, various researches have been conducted to examine the evolution of chilies and to explore more about heat and more about its heat and the burning reaction. And then does it make sense now? Does it look better? Yes, no? Yeah. Now the other thing that you could also try to do is, so this is a very good summary, Elishma. So various researches have been conducted to examine the evolution of chilies and to explore more about its heat and the burning reaction. It is now known that the placenta, it is now a word repetition, that placenta is the hottest part of the chili, and hotter chilies will help to deal with harmful microbes and hungry mammals. Okay, it is now known that, so this is decent. Okay. Or maybe you can even, maybe just to avoid this hot, chilly repetition multiple times, you can say it is now known that placenta is the hottest part of the chili. So how do you, so you can maybe think of ways in which you can rephrase this part, without losing its meaning. Just retain that part, but try to avoid the repetition. Hottest, hotter, chilly, chilly. Just to avoid repetition as much as possible. All right. Whenever you are writing within a single sentence, try to avoid repetition. All right. Is this clear to you, Elishma? Not just to Elishma, to all of you. Placenta is the hottest part of the chili, which helps to deal with. It is now known that placenta is the hottest part. Placenta is the hottest part of chili, comma, which helps to deal with harmful microbes and hungry mammals. There is a full stop. After writing such a good sentence, or did I miss the full stop this time? Okay, fine. All right, so this is a good summary. Okay. Ashmita, let's move to Ashmita. Humans are performing scientific research on nature of chilies and its effect on human. This is a spelling error, on human body, with a conclusion that the outer part of chilies are more hottest again then or than. So you meant to say than, right, Ashmita? And the seed, leading to act against fungus and other harmful microbes as well. Okay, so Yashmita, so based on the discussion that we had, what do you think? Do you think it's a complete readable sentence? Do you think you could rephrase it so that it's much more readable? So here also, I would really recommend try to use semicolon, because that's humans are performing humans have been, right? It's an ongoing thing, right? So humans have been performing scientific research on the nature of chilies and its effect on human body. Okay. It is, or maybe you can write, many scientists believe that the outer part of chilies are the hottest than the seed. Okay. So do you really think than the seed is really important here? Not really. So you can just, whatever is not, you don't have to go into the specifics. Okay. Your aim is to write a summary, so it has to be short. Okay. Many scientists believe that the outer part of chilies, you want to name it, outer part of chilies, namely capsaicin, right, is the hottest Okay, see, I am using a word, which is why I am correcting it here right away. Okay, so don't think that you will get such an option in the actual exam. You won't. Yeah, more hottest is not the right, construction, Ashmita. So in Delishma, you pointed it. Okay, namely capsaicin. Okay, so many scientists believe that the outer part of chilies, namely capsaicin, is the hottest part. Okay, which helps them act against or fight against fungus and as well is not really required. Now, does that make sense? Is it much more readable? Is this what you wanted to convey, Ashmita? Okay, so do you think it's much more readable now? Less, so you have cut down a few words here. You have made it more meaningful. Okay. Okay, so we have Vinay, so we'll just take Vinay's and then let's all try to help Vinay here, okay? So let's try to, let's try to give a like constructive feedback to Vinay. Let's see. So I want all of you to participate, so it's just going to take another 5 minutes. So this is your chance to give the proper feedback. Humans are cultivating chilies to explore more about the heat, after learning about science, because scientists identifies the pain nerves that detect capsaicin. Furthermore, the mammal predators such as rodents and also fungus. Okay, so let me just hear it from you. How many of you think it's a meaningful sentence? Yes, Jaya. So this, am I recording it? If I'm recording it, I will be. I hope I'm recording it. Yeah, I'm recording it. Yeah, it will be uploaded. Yesterday there was no lecture, Jaya. So it happens only on Sundays. Okay, yeah, let's come back to this Vinay's response. So I want all of you to help here. So how many of you think it's a meaningful sentence? What do you think? Yes. So those are uploaded to YouTube. You can, I will share the link. Yeah. So it's not meaningful. So as a reader, as an external reader who has not gone through the passage, if I read your sentence, it's not communicative enough. All right. So let's see what else you guys have to tell. Okay, so Vinay, you also have to respond. So do you think this is true? I think humans are not cultivating chilies to explore more about heat. It will be good if they post it somewhere. It is confusing to the reader, yes. So Vinay, are you here? So all these are constructive feedback. Okay, so I hope you will take it the right way. Okay. So yeah, so Elishma has a good point here. So first, what we are trying to do is we are trying to make it a meaningful sentence. So in that sense, humans are cultivating chilies to explore more about heat is meaningful. I mean, content-wise, it may not be a match, but is it a meaningful sentence? Yes, it is. I mean, this part, I'm just referring to this part, okay? Humans are cultivating chilies. So what Elishma is trying to tell here is, see, humans are not cultivating chilies to explore more about heat. Humans are cultivating chilies, that is one thing, and exploring heat is another thing. That's what you meant, Elishma, right? Yes. So humans are cultivating chilies to explore more about heat after learning about this science, because scientists. Okay. So this part is not. This part is actually creating the confusion. What we will do is we'll just take out this sentence, this part, and let's see. Humans are cultivating chilies to explore more about it. We will come back and correct this part also, but let's try to see. Humans are cultivating chilies to explore more about heat. Scientist identify the pain nerves that detect. Yeah, so we'll come back to that part. Let's try to make this a meaningful sentence first and then make it accurate with regards to content. Scientists identify the pain nerves. Yeah, so Vinay, you also have to answer this question. What exactly were you trying to tell with this part? Scientists identifies the pain nerve that detect capsaicin. What exactly you were trying to say? Okay, so Vinay, you have to answer this question, or else I can just show you a model answer and then tell you that okay, this is the way, this is how it should be. So that does not help you understand the mistake that you're making. Or if any of you think, I mean, you kind of understood what exactly that sentence is trying to convey, you can just pitch in. So in my understanding, what I believe is Vinay wanted to tell that scientist identifies the hotness is mainly due to capsaicin. I mean, that is the only explanation that I can come up with at this moment, looking at that particular part. So is that right, Vinay? Is that what you wanted to tell? I hope my internet connection is proper here. Are you guys here? Hello. All right. So why are you guys silent? Elishma, Ashmita, Jinu, come on, guys, respond. So yeah. So if I have to, Shoaib, yeah, respond. So when I say respond, try to answer this construct. So this is again a learning for you guys. Okay. So if you are able to correct this, it means that you can actually write well. Okay. So let's quickly try to wrap it up. Scientist identifies the pain nerve. Scientist identifies the pain nerve. So is there anything referring to pain nerves here? Scientists identify the pain nerve that detect capsaicin. So this is what you have taken, Vinay. That is, then there is an explanation also for that, which you missed. The chemical in chili is responsible for most of the burning sensation in our mouth. So if you had to really write it, scientists identify the chemical capsaicin as the primary reason behind its hotness. So I am constrained with the content that I already have, which is why I am trying to. That is the constraint that I basically have. So I already have a sentence. I'm just trying to correct that without making much of a difference. Humans are cultivating chilies to explore more about heat. Scientists identifies the chemical capsaicin as the primary reason behind its hotness. Furthermore, the mammal predators such as rodents and also harmful fungus. Again, this part is also not. Furthermore, it helps them. It helps chilies to fight against mammal predators such as rodents and harmful fungus. This, I mean, do you think this is meaningful? Then the previous scientists identify the chemical capsaicin. Yeah, so we have Elishma. So Elishma has done a good job here. So Elishma has tried to rephrase what Vinay was trying to write. Humans are cultivating chilies to explore more about heat. Scientists identified that capsaicin causes hotness and fight against harmful microbes than hungry mammals. So this is good, right? So a lot of cut short has happened here. So Vinay, your initial response, right? So initial response, if you look at your initial response, it was not quite meaningful, honestly. So if you are aiming for 79 plus, again, that is a strict no. Plus, even if you are aiming for 65 plus, I would not recommend such a summary, because such sentences actually can, maybe if all your other responses and everything is good, and still, such sentences can even put you at 64. Okay, so sometimes you might have heard that your friends getting 64, 78, losing by 1 point. So that's for a reason. Okay, so you need to clearly understand these things. Is this clear to all of you? Vinay, I want to hear it from you, because is this clear to all of you? All right, so what we will do is we will wind up the session. Let me show the relevant links. We have already taken 15 minutes extra here. Sorry for that, but I think this was helpful. So here we go. All right, Vinay, nice to hear that. So these are the relevant links. So some of you were asking about the YouTube videos. So make sure that you bookmark these links. So let's wind up the session. If you have any queries, please feel free to WhatsApp. WhatsApp number is given, or you can even email. All right, so you can follow our social media channels for regular updates. All right, then let's wind up the session. If you have no more questions, we'll meet again next week. So if you have any relevant questions, please feel free to post it. Please feel free to email or WhatsApp.